What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don Tony Teflon, and I'm back at you with another one. And this one is in Dexter New Blood season finale. Some liked the ending, some didn't like the ending, and some thought it was okay. In this video, we're going to try to get everybody on the like train as I reveal an alternate ending. What up to my thugs, nerds, freaks, and geeks? You're now rocking with the best of Don Tony Teflon. If you can, please subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. As always, 500 is the like goal. Let's see if we can get there with this video. Now, before I unveil this new ending, this alternate ending, I want to explain exactly why I feel the way I do about the way Dexter New Blood finished. Now, this ending wasn't satisfying to me. Number one reason I would say is consequence. There truly was no consequences for all the actions we've seen Dexter take over all these years. Dexter was that happy-go-lucky guy who was always bringing donuts to all of his people. Everyone loved him. The fact that he went out the way that he did, they left no consequence. He did not have to stand and face the music to all these people that he conned all those years. I think that if he would have died a different way or somehow had to be confronted by all these people and he had to look them in the face and let them see truly what was behind that mask, that would have led to more consequences for this character, and that's the number one reason why I did not like the way he went out. The number two reason why is I felt he went out on his own terms. When it came down to it in the end, he is the one who asked Harrison to shoot him. It kind of felt like a suicide. It kind of felt like death by cop type suicide, and I don't think he deserved to go out on his own terms. I think he should have been exposed for who he was, because in this ending there is no definite way that people could pin that he is the Bay Harbor Butcher. There's no markers or tells to say this guy is 100% the Bay Harbor Butcher, and even if they did try to pin that on him, he wouldn't be alive to face that situation. So that's really the reason why I didn't like the ending, and I think in this alternate ending it fixes those problems specifically. So right off the bat, if we go through it a little fast, we can see that Angela does find the screw in his fire, and that is what basically brings him in for questioning and is the final nail in his coffin for Angela, saying that there's something wrong with this guy. Now, I had no problem with this. I thought that this was going to be the way that he got caught. I predicted that that would happen, and it went exactly to plan. Now, after Dexter has been booked and processed, the next big thing comes down to Angela's interrogation of him. And she brings up the wounds on all of these victims and the same puncture mark on the Bay Harbor Butcher victims. I know a lot of people had a problem with that. Again, this is something that I knew was going to happen, something that I predicted was going to happen. I understand why people do have a problem with it, and I'm not saying that they're not justified for having that problem. But me, myself, I'm willing to live with that and to let that part slide. So after that is when Logan comes and he pulls her out and says, you're getting a little bit too crazy. Let's back up for a little bit. And it leads into Dexter basically telling her in the next time he sees Angela, if you want to see true evil, this is where you have to go, and telling her where to find Kurt's lair. In this alternate ending, it would have played out like this. Angela would have already had talk to Batista, and when she sat down that second time, Batista would have came through the door. She would have been said something like, well, someone else wants to speak to you real quick, and she would have got up and she would have opened the door, and then Batista would have walked through the door with that big file. Then Batista could have been like, you're really alive, I can't believe you're really alive, sat in front of Dexter and then explained to Dexter how she emailed him the picture of them together, and that's why he's up there. This right now to me makes Dexter afraid, because before he was supposed to be afraid of Batista coming there. It would have been better to show him afraid when Batista was really there with that file, in his face and gave him that desperate feeling, because that's what we didn't really get, was that desperate feeling, or why he would have that desperate feeling from the evidence that Angela presented, because that evidence was circumstantial at best. You can ask any attorney and they would tell you if their client got charged with the stuff that they shown, they would not have a problem going to trial with that evidence. There is no DNA evidence or anything putting Dexter at any of these scenes of these crimes. OJ had more evidence against him and he still got off. So that was one of the parts I didn't understand, why Dexter all of a sudden got so desperate. So to fix that, you bring Batista there. This also gets him to confront someone from his past that he conned all these years. So after this scene is when Dexter says, turn the camera off and I'll tell you something. You could have the same thing play out. Just say, hey, tell Batista to leave and I'll tell you something. Batista leaves the room. Dexter goes into the exact same thing that he told her about Kurt. She leaves. The difference would be she takes Logan with her. After that, Batista says something like, hey, I think we got him on the ropes. Let me get the keys so I can keep on interrogating him. They agree. They leave. They go up to Kurt's place. They find all the bodies and everything else. Everything else plays out exactly the same way it plays out, but Logan's there. So when she asks for all the backup, she gets concerned for Batista. She tells Logan to lock down the scene, wait here at the scene while she goes and runs back to check on Batista. Then it would bring us to that scene. Batista would go to the jail cell where Dexter was at, and then it would be Dexter who attacks Batista the same way he attacks Logan, and the same exact thing happens to Logan, but instead it's Batista that Dexter kills. I think this would be more emotionally gripping because people care more about Batista, and the fact that he would be willing to kill Batista, it would show you what type of animal he truly is, that he killed this guy that he's known for all these years. But in this state of mind right now, Dexter is following the code. Don't get caught by any means necessary. He takes out Batista and then he escapes. Everything else plays out exactly the same after that. He runs out, he meets Harrison. While he's talking to Harrison at this time, Logan comes out of there. Logan draws the gun on Dexter, tells Harrison to get away. Dexter goes down on his knees, puts his hands behind his head, and then all of a sudden Logan goes to try to cuff him. Dexter winds up killing Logan right in front of Harrison. So now Dexter has killed 2 people, 2 police officers, and Harrison has witnessed this one. I think the problem that I had with Harrison shooting Dexter was that it just there wasn't no emotional connection to it when he was truly doing it. I think him seeing Logan die in his face would then make him really see what type of animal his father truly is. And then you can have the whole Harrison shoot him. But what I would do and how I have Harrison shoot him, would Dexter be like, listen, I had to do it. I have to get out of here. You know the code. #1 rule of the code is don't get caught. And then Harrison goes, well, then don't get caught. Go, get out of here, run away. Just like that. And Dexter turns around to run away. When he does, Harrison shoots him and kills him. Then you would have Angela come in, and then that whole situation will play out with her giving Harrison the money and everything else, and then Harrison would take off in the truck. Now, this is how I would end it. I would have him do the letter, read the letter exactly the same way, but as soon as that letter is done, I would have someone say to Harrison, you done the right thing. And then Harrison would say, it didn't feel like the right thing. And then he would look over and it would be Kurt sitting right in the passenger seat right next to him. And then Kurt would say, don't worry, I'm always gonna be here with you, buddy. Let's listen to a song. And then he puts on the Runaway song, and then they take off down the road. And that's how I would end it, just like that. And that would tie back into Harrison telling Dexter, run, when he put the gun on him. If you have to get away, go ahead, get away, run. You wouldn't have caught that like you didn't in this video. But that would tie that in, and also tie in the Runaway song, right? And that's how I would have done this. I think a couple of tweaks to what we already had would have made this a really, truly great ending. I think that's all they would have had to pull off were those tweaks. But listen, that's my opinion. Maybe you like this, maybe you don't. Maybe you have a better way that they could have ended it. Either way, I would like to hear from you in the comment section. Not only in the comment section, I would also like to hear from you during our live streams. We're gonna have another live stream in a couple of days, a call-in live stream where you're able to call in and leave all your opinions. We had so many phone calls from the last one. We were also getting calls overnight. People were leaving messages. So we're gonna play all those messages. Join the Don Tony Teflon, the Lady LMR, the Lady in the Don podcast with Phil the Issues Guy as we go through all of the ending of Dexter New Blood. And listen, it's not over. I'm going to give you all the updates. The next video I'll drop is, can there be a season 2? How likely is it that there will be a season 2? I will give you all the information that we have so far to try to make a determination if that's going to happen. Again, let me know how you feel about this alternative ending in the comment section. If you don't like it, please tell me why you don't like it. Just don't say, I don't like it. Give me some reasons why you don't like it. If you do like it, tell me why you like it. Truly, it's not going to hurt my feelings either way. I just like putting this stuff out there and interacting with you. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and as always, subscribe. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.